Welcome to the Jennifer Gray Show, a place to get unstuck, make shift happen, and not take life so seriously. So welcome to the show today, and before we dive in, I just want to offer everybody who is watching a little gift from me. So here's my book, Directing Your Destiny. And what I have gone and done is created a 4-week online webinar that is free. I'm giving away 100 free tickets today. So first come, first serve. And the link is in the box below. And what I found was when I would read personal development books, I would see an exercise and then I would turn the page. And so I would never actually do the practices that was in the book. So I thought, why don't I create something for my students where we all come in together as community and we do the practices in the book. And the cool thing is you don't even need the book to take the course. It is a 30-day experiment in manifesting. So I pose the hypotheses. What if you, for 30 days, harnessed all of your magic and all of your energy and focused on what you wanted to create in your life? What would those results be? So for those of you who are interested in playing along, we're going to meet every Sunday. There's either a 9 a.m. or a 9 p.m. choice that you can enroll into. It starts on March 19th and goes to April 9th. And like I said, you can just click on the link below and register, get your free ticket to the 4-week online live course with me starting on March 19th. And it's called Directing Your Destiny. So what I want to talk about today is quantum physics 101. For myself, before I was really understanding how to work with the law of attraction, I had watched that movie, The Secret. Many of you have probably watched the movie, The Secret, and you probably did what I did, which was run straight out to Office Depot and get your poster board and your glue stick and cut out all of those amazing pictures of the life that you wanted to lead and the places you wanted to travel to and the gorgeous model you were going to marry. And you probably put it up there on the wall, sitting there eating bonbons on your couch, trying to manifest the life of your dreams to pop in the middle of the living room like it did in the movie The Secret. And I don't know what happened for you guys, but for me, nada, nothing. And it sent me on a journey to figure out why. What was missing? You know, I thought the movie was so great and so instrumental for teaching us all about the law of attraction, that we actually could work with this energy field that surrounds us all to attract in what we were desiring. But that movie didn't come with a manual. So I wrote it. I actually wrote the manual. This is the manual, Directing Your Destiny. And it's 9 practices, 4 weeks on how to work with this quantum energy field. So let's talk about quantum physics. I think that it's really important to understand the science that is underneath the law of attraction and to understand how it's all working. When I began starting to study quantum mechanics, it was an opportunity for me to really get what all the sages, right, and the Native American men and women were saying for thousands of years, right, that we are what we think, and with our thoughts we create the world, right? Buddha said that 2,000 years ago, and he never watched the movie The Secret. So I thought, you know, what's the science? I'm a New Yorker. I need cold, hard facts. What is the science that is coupled with this old, wise wisdom that with our thoughts we create our reality? So I began to study, and the more that I studied and the more that I understood the science, it raised my belief system. And everything we think, believe, and feel is being channeled through our consciousness, creating our reality, right? Which is the movie of our lives. And if you are currently starring in a movie that you are not digging right now, right? Maybe you're currently starring in the 2017 horror film of the year, starring yourself, and you're unhappy with this movie, the good news is that you get to rewrite it. You get to write, produce, and direct the movie of your life. My job as a coach is to get people out of that audience, where they're like watching the movie of their life, and into the director's chair, where they are mindfully creating their reality. So one of the first things that I learned about was the 0-point field. So Quantum Physics 101, the 0-point field. There's an energy field that surrounds us all. And you can kind of think about the movie Star Wars when they talk about the force field. There's a force field. And it connects everything with everything. And it's energy. And inside of this force field, like attracts like. Things that are similar are attracted to each other. So if you are on that hamster wheel unknowingly, worrying about the future, regretting the past, you're not in the present moment, think about when you worry. What do you feel? Fear, anxiety. What about when you're in the past, regretting? What do you feel? Maybe sadness, anger, depression, guilt, shame. So many of us are on this hamster wheel, and we're not really becoming the master of our thoughts. We're not mindfully creating our realities. We're just reacting to things happening to us instead of creating. So there we are on the hamster wheel, unknowingly worrying about the future, regretting the past, putting out there fear, anxiety, sadness, anger, depression, guilt, shame. And what do you think? Comes back. Whatever frequency we are on attracts in other people, other situations, other events inside of this 0-point field. The other thing about this field is that it speaks a very specific language. And no, it's not Spanish. It's emotion. And so if we're not mindful about where our thoughts are, which are directly connected to our emotions, we might be putting out there all of these low frequency emotions. So our work gets to be about the witness, about noticing, what am I thinking? What am I believing? What am I feeling, right? Because whatever we think, believe, and feel being channeled through us creating the movie of our lives, it's interacting with this 0-point field. So a lot of the work that I do in the Directing Your Destiny course that I'm giving out 100 free tickets today in the link below is how to become the master of your thoughts, how to touch in with what are the belief systems, and then finally feel it, right? Because if it's emotion that we're having this conversation with this 0-point field, we better feel it when we're manifesting. So what a lot of people do is, they're on the surface and they're saying, my intention is to be in a healthy, conscious relationship, right? And they're very clear up here. That is a positive thought. I feel excited that I am now in a healthy, conscious relationship. But what's going on underneath the surface is they don't believe it, right? They believe the itty-bitty shitty committee that's inside their head, like Esther. You guys all know Esther, who watch my show. She's the old lady with 20 cats who's like, you're gonna die, an old lady with 20 cats. So we have to do away with Esther. We have to reprogram the belief system. She's like, there's no men in Miami. Guess what, Esther? You only need one. So we look at what are we thinking? Does it match up with what we believe? Because if we're thinking and not believing the same things, what do you think is going to happen to the feeling? Right? If we feel like we're going to die an old lady with 20 cats, how do you think you're going to feel? You think you're going to feel love and excitement? No, you're going to feel anger, frustration, sadness. And that's what the universe is going to pick up on. So we learn how to authentically act as if. And what I deliver in my book and in this free course that I'm giving is how to feel while you're manifesting, to actually feel the emotions of love, of excitement, of abundance, whatever it is that you're wanting to call in. You can't just think it. You've got to believe it, and then you've got to feel it. So rewind. Years ago, before I was a coach, I was an actress. And I studied in New York, I studied here in Hollywood, and I learned very specific techniques that actors learn to authentically feel the emotional truth of whatever character I was portraying. And then when I was writing this book, I thought, how am I going to teach my students to manifest love if they're feeling lonely, to manifest abundance if they feel like they're going broke? And I thought, light bulb, why don't I teach them the actor's tools? So in this course, I teach the acting tools, how to raise your emotional frequency to communicate with a 0-point field to bring in what you desire. There are many different quantum principles that I think are important to understand. Another one is called collapsing the wave function. So if we look around in the room that we're in here, I'm in one right now, we can see this table. Looks solid, feels solid. This chair looks solid, feels solid. Well, according to quantum mechanics, this chair and this table is in a million pieces all over this room. And they did these very fascinating experiments at Princeton, at Harvard, where they would have a human and a camera look at something solid, a mass, and they would take a photograph of it, and there it was solid. But then they would take out the human and simply photograph it. And then the table was all around the room in a million different particles. So the fact that a human observing something, what that does is collapses the wave. And it makes it solid because we here on planet Earth have all decided that this is solid. But quantum scientists say that the walls are moving, the floor is moving, that time is an illusion, that this isn't solid. But because our minds are not set up like this, we see everything solid. So how does this translate? The way that it translates is that the very fact that a human can have an effect on the world around them, quantum physicist says how that translates is we can have an effect on the world around us. You see, we all grew up with Newtonian science, right? And Newtonian science is kind of in the world of here's your cards in life. This is your lot in life. You are a victim of your circumstances. Quantum physics comes along and says, no, you are a creator of your circumstances. What you're thinking has a direct effect on the world around you. They also did this other fascinating experiment. And what they did was they took DNA and they had a vacuum sealed test tube. And they inserted human DNA into the test tube. Now, even with something vacuum sealed, this is called the phantom effect. Even with something vacuum sealed, there's still going to be particles of the universe in there. So they insert the DNA, they vacuum seal it up, and you know the double helix, the way the DNA looks. Well, all of a sudden, the stuff that the universe is made out of, all the little particles lined up, and was like a phantom, was like an exact mirror to the DNA. Like, it heard it, it saw it, it interacted with it, and it mirrored it. So the stuff that the universe is made of, and DNA, the stuff that we were made of, created itself. And so there is an interaction. We are not the victims of our circumstances. We are the creator of our realities. And so the question I ask you is, what is it that you want to create? So we're going to take time and learn all about quantum physics, understand the science so that that can raise your belief system that you too, just like anybody, can manifest the life of your dreams. Now, one of the most important parts is not being overly attached to the outcome. And this really confuses people because they say, well, Jen, you have us make intention cards and vision boards and be really crystal clear on who we are and what we want and sit us in the director's chair and there you go, direct the movie of your life. And at the same time, I ask you to not be attached to it. You see, the universe gives us surprises all the time, dressed in wrapping that we don't always recognize. And it is a co-authoring. There is a dance that's going on between us. We are co-authoring the movie of our lives. And most of the time, the universe knows better than us. So we put out our intentions. We're clear into what we're wanting. And simultaneously, we let go and we allow. We allow the gifts to be delivered with us. So this is what we will explore even more down the rabbit hole of quantum physics. You will learn in my 4-week course how to become the writer, producer, and director of your dreams. We will put on our screenwriter's hats. We'll be writing out scripts that we want to star in. We will learn my AFM technique, which is the authentic frequency method, so that you can properly communicate with a 0-point field and naturally attract anything you want. So for those of you watching, I have 100 free tickets that I'm very excited to give out. The course is going to start on March 19th, either 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will go until April 9th. You can click on the link below to get your free ticket now and put in the promo code so you're not charged $397. You will put in the promo code JGIFT. So I hope you all enjoyed a little taste of quantum mechanics. This has been Jennifer Grace, and this is as real as it's gonna get.